Okay. Guys, can you believe it's time for the Sephora Savings Event? It happens twice a year. I get just as excited every time, and I am also very excited to say that Sephora is sponsoring this video. I still get butterflies saying that. It doesn't feel real. So thank you, Sephora, for supporting my channel, sponsoring this video. So to give you the deets on the savings event, if you are not yet a Sephora Beauty Insider, you've got to join the program. It is totally free. When you enter, you'll be at the insider level, which means you'll get 10% off during the savings event. So no matter what, even if you've never bought from Sephora before, you can still take part in the savings event. So they have other tiers depending on how much you spend. So if you are VIB, you get 15% off. And then if you are Rouge like me, because I buy a lot of makeup, you get 20% off. So the promo code for all of the tiers is SAVENOW. I'll have the information on all of the dates when you can start shopping, because of Rouge members get to shop earlier on April 14th, and then VIB and Insider members get to shop on April 18th, starting on April 18th. But all of that information below, I'll have the link to join Sephora's Beauty Insider program if you've not yet joined. It's a great time to, because you can save some money. What's cool too is that you can use the promo code as many times as you want. You can place multiple orders. It doesn't really matter. It works in store and online. And for the Sephora collection, 30% off, no code is needed. The other thing, actually two more things that are really cool. They will offer free shipping to any tier of their Beauty Insider program with no minimum. So free shipping, no minimum. That is a pretty big deal. And then also if you're buying any Sephora collection products, which I'm gonna share some of my Holy Grail products from them in this video too, you get 30% off with that same promo code SAVENOW. So it is a great time to shop. It's a great time to build your cart if your date is not here yet. One big piece of advice I always give, including to like family and friends that ask about it, is build your cart, let it all sit there, and then when it's time to shop, check out. Because a lot of the more popular items, things that have gone viral, etc., tend to sell out, especially when that April 18th date comes around and everyone can shop. So I always recommend shop as early as you can, build your cart, etc. Today, I'm gonna share with you guys my recommendations for the sale. These are all fresh things. These are things that I have not mentioned in a Sephora recommendations video. There may be like 3 repeats, but I went back, kind of looked at my list and tried to weed out things I keep talking about so that this is fresh for a lot of you guys. If you do want more recommendations, of course, you can watch my last savings event video that was also sponsored by Sephora. Yeah, so if you want more, but I'm also gonna share at the end what is in my cart, what I'm planning on buying. We've got our iced coffee. We're in floral. The weather's beautiful. My doggy's sleeping right there. Like I am in a great mood. I'm just so happy the weather's getting nice. All right, cheers, let's do this. I never know where to begin, like let's just start with bronzer, because I actually have a weird amount of bronzers. So one recommendation that I have, if you are a powder bronzer person, is the Haus Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. This is velvety. I don't know how else to describe it. I have heard some people love this and some people hate it. I'm one that loves it. I like to just tap a powder brush in it and just tap it on. I think if you're trying to take this powder and rub it in like you might other powder bronzers, it doesn't quite perform the same because it does have a unique, it's not cream to powder, but it definitely is velvety. And I think that's why some people don't like it. I love it. I used it today. I actually used another bronzer we'll talk about, and then I tapped this on top, and I feel like if you're in a place like maybe it's really humid, or you find that you need a full day's wear of makeup and maybe cream bronzer doesn't cut it, but you want to use cream bronzer, this is a very specific scenario. My point is, I'll tap this on top of my cream bronzer on some days and it stays so beautifully. This blends into my skin so nicely. I feel like it never looks like jagged and weird. So this is one I personally really like. I like the packaging as well. It's just it's a good standout to me powder bronzer because it's barely a powder. So the bronzer I used underneath that, I guess, is this new Tower 28 Sculptino bronzer. This is in the shade Broad. So this is their new line of matte bronzers. They've had their Bronzino out, which is like, I don't want to say glittery, kind of shimmery, kind of glowy. I do like that, but I don't find myself reaching for it as much anymore. This is beautiful. It's so easy to apply. It's just one of those that's kind of foolproof. You don't have to think too hard about it, and I like it. And Tower 28 is one of those brands that's on the more affordable side at Sephora. So, you know, I really like it. And then another product that is definitely newer to me, you saw me try it recently in a video, is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Bronzer. I don't think this is for everyone. I think it's for you if you like a very wearable look. Like this is gonna blend in and be like almost undetectable, especially if you get a shade close to your skin tone. I actually quite like that, especially on day to day. I want a little something, but I want it to almost look like I didn't try. And this definitely gives that effect. Very much of like a supermodel bronzer, like supermodel off duty. Like, is she wearing makeup? I can't tell. I'm not sure. I think so, but maybe not. That's this product. So I do like it. I just don't know that it's for everyone. And I guess my point there is it really shears out, and that's what either you will love or you will hate. All right, Jess, take a breath, slow down. I feel like I like came in hot there. So another product that's newer to me, but ever since I tried it, I've not put it down, is the new formulation of the Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Powder Foundation. So I have the old one. I was comparing these recently. I did learn later that this one is talc-free. So that was a big difference between the old formulation and this one. And so I've just really been enjoying it. It performs the same as the old one. It's cool that it's talc-free. I just feel like it meshes everything on my skin together, especially if I've been using some cream products and powder products. I feel like a light dusting of this and then maybe a little heavier dusting on my nose, because my nose is always red, makes my skin just look a little more flawless. And then if you put like a setting spray, if you spray that right on top, it melts in so beautifully. So I'm a big fan. This is something I'm sure I will end up like hitting pan using up because I love this formula. It just adds that nice level of coverage. And if you're someone like me that like midway through the day, especially if you're like, oh, we're going out to dinner later and I'm done working for the day, I might touch my makeup up. This is something I love using. I'll get kind of a wet sponge on the like corner of it and then tap that on my nose. And like it's just flawless. I love this so much. And it's a good purse one because it does have its own thing. And of course it's got a nice little mirror. It snaps shut. I like it. All right, so this was a blush that surprised me. It doesn't perform the way I thought it would, but I do like the way it performs. It's the new Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush Wands. These are unique because it's what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing the shade Pink Pop is the shade. I don't have any highlighter on. So it says it's matte. I'm not convinced that it is, but I do like the way it looks. I just find that odd, and maybe it's more of this shade thing. I feel like this one in Pillow Talk was a little bit more matte, but I find myself reaching for this one a little more. But I like the formula. It's really easy to blend on. I feel like it has enough transparency to give you time to blend it in, and it looks like skin versus like a huge like bit of color that's obvious. I really, really like the formula, and I would definitely say during a savings event is the time to get it, save some money on it. I love this under eye powder so much, and actually I need a little bit now because I feel I didn't set my under eyes today. So this is from LYS Beauty. It's the Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder. This is a repeat, but I feel like no one talks about this, and maybe I'm just not watching, I don't know. I love this so much. It's one that is always a go-to translucent powder for my under eye specifically, because I just feel like obviously it mattifies, but it makes it look so blurred. It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's one of the best I've tried. And again, LYS is one of those brands that's a little more, it's not quite as expensive as other brands that Sephora carries, and then add a percentage off on top of it. It's a great time to buy it. This will last you forever. I've had this for quite a while. It's such a good, it's a good setting powder, but I really love it for the under eye. So let's talk about some lip products. So this is brand new. I'm gonna be honest. I just tried this for the first time like this week, but I loved it so much that I was like, do I mention it? So just take this with a grain of salt. It's still kind of a first impressions, but this is their new line. It's their Afterglow Sensual Shine lipstick. So here is why I have grown to like it. So this is the shade Dolce Vita, which I love the NARS Dolce Vita like classic lipstick. It's one of my favorite shades. It's so wearable for me. This is amazing because it's that same shade, and of course they have multiple colors. But if you feel like some of the other like glossy lipsticks that are out there, and I'm gonna talk about a favorite in a moment, but if you feel like those are a little bit too gloopy for you, you will love this because this is a lot thinner of a formula, but it gives a similar look, but I don't feel like I'm worried about it kind of sliding all around either. It's the perfect hybrid. So I wanted to mention it because I'm quite enjoying it. This is gonna be my purse lippy for the next few weeks because I don't really feel like I have to use a mirror, but it looks really nice, still glossy, but it's not sticky at all. So big fan. But speaking of more like glossy lips in lipstick form, you know, most of us here and on the internet world, I just feel like most people in general really like this formula. This is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. I have 3 shades now. Definitely my favorite shade is Primrose. This is very similar, and actually let me compare Primrose, this shade, to Dolce Vita. Primrose is definitely a My Lips But Better shade. So there's Dolce Vita and there's the Primrose shade from Tarte. Pretty similar, but slightly different. But again, the Tarte ones have a little bit of a plumping tingle. They are a little bit gloopier. And I do want to mention that because if you know you don't want like a thicker kind of glossy lip, you might not like these, but generally I do, but I have to be careful because sometimes it'll get like a lot in the middle and then it's like gloopy. I was watching back footage from a previous vlog where I had put one of these on and I was like, oh my gosh, it was so gross and gloopy in the middle. You just have to be aware of that, but I do really like the formula. And then NARS, their Power Matte lipsticks. These are gorgeous. My favorite shade is, I actually don't have it in front of me. This is Feel My Fire. Dragon Girl is my favorite shade. It is the red lip, okay? If you're looking for one lipstick and you're like, I'm gonna splurge, Dragon Girl NARS Power Matte Lipstick, it's the one. I promise you can add it to cart, you can check out. Trust, it's the red lip. It's got that slight blue tone, it makes your teeth look white, it stays in place really well. It is, I'm getting the goosebumps. It's gorgeous. It is the red lip. So if you've ever been looking for like the one, that's it. But I like the formula in general too. I like the shade Tease Me. It's kind of more peachy. These are matte, but they're still comfortable. They don't get like weird and I don't know. They're just really nice. All right, and another new lipstick launch is the Hourglass Unlocked lipsticks. This is the shade Dahlia. It's still newer to me, but I did want to mention it because I know I've gotten a lot of questions on if I like it. I do. I find that it's comfortable to wear. It's slightly moisturizing, but not super like shiny. So it's not super matte, but I almost wouldn't consider it satin. I think it's more moisturizing than it is satin. But I do like it. If you're wanting like a go-to lipstick and you can find a shade that works really well, I think you will like the formula. It's just comfortable, kind of more of a classic, but moisturizing lipstick that's out there. And the packaging is really luxe because it magnetizes shut. It's just pretty, you know? And then a lip liner recommendation. I've definitely recommended a lot in the past. I really like the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. I've realized why, like these are pretty popular. I've realized why I personally like them. They're a little bit drier. And at first I would think, no, I want creamier, which I do have some creamier ones I love. The Sephora Collection gel lip liners, 10 out of 10. Those are so good. And they're creamy and they do stay in place. So it's great. They're retractable, so I don't need a sharpener. But this one, you do need a sharpener. It's a wooden one, but boy, does it stay in place. Like if you color your lips in with this and then put a gloss on top, beautiful. It's not gonna budge. It's not gonna budge all day. This is such a good, long-lasting lip liner. So I have the shade Anywhere Caffeine. I also have Wherever Walnut. They're very similar. I'm such a fan and I finally like pinpointed that's why I like it. It does not budge. But you might need a moment to sharpen it, kind of warm it up, and then go in on your lips. Coffee break. This might be a repeat, the Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Mask. I love these. Birthday Cake is my favorite scent. I also have Sweet Dream. I put these on when I'm getting ready. I just love them. They're slightly plumping. I think they're comfy. They get my lips all soft while I'm doing my makeup. So then if I am going in with something like a lipstick or something, they're already nice and soft. They're just, these are a goodie. If you're buying stuff, I really would add this to your cart. I really think you'll like it. So something I like, but I have two caveats, but it is a newer kind of hot product. So I wanted to mention it for anyone thinking about buying it. The Kosas Glow IV Skin Enhancer. So here's the thing about this. If you have a shade that's not right for you, especially if it's too deep for you, it is gonna be very obvious. So you have to just be aware of that. Like for me, with this one, it's one shade too dark. I got the shade Spark. And I feel like I can kind of see the line where it ends, so I have to be very aware to like make sure I'm blending it in. The other thing is this does have very detectable like glitter in it. So if you know you're not gonna like that, I wouldn't get it. I just wouldn't. It is really pretty on the skin though. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things that if you know you like a really nice shimmery base, this might be for you. The other way I've been wearing it that I think works best for me, especially since the shade isn't quite right, is to just mix it in with more like full coverage foundations, and it just makes it like gorgeous. But like I said, there is that detectable kind of shimmery glitter in it. It's there, so be aware of that. So I wanted to at least mention that. This is not an ultimate favorite. I do like it's got skincare in it as well, vitamin D, vitamin K. So, you know, it's one of those things that if you're interested, you might like it, but you might have to kind of really make sure you're getting the right shade and just know there's glitter. But if you want a glowy base that does not have detectable glitter, but is gorgeous, this is my standby. This is another one of the few repeats, the Supergoop Glow Screen. SPF 40, glowy without being glittery. I don't see like a line on my skin where I like stopped applying it. You can mix it with foundation. You can just use it alone. I use it alone as my facial SPF. Absolutely stunning. I mean, really guys, this has been a favorite for so many years for a reason. I really do like it. I won't talk much more because I know I talk about that a lot. Now here's a new primer. And again, this is one that I literally tried today and I was like, Jessica, don't mention it. But then I was like, but maybe I mention it. So again, take with a grain of salt, first impression, Smashbox Primerizer Plus. So this is their hydrating primer. I've been dealing with dry skin, both from my like dermatitis I have, but then also from using retinol. And so like there's like that bit of sloughing off. I'm almost to the end of it. They say with retinol, if you do experience that, it'll usually last like 4 to 6 weeks. I really think I'm nearing the end of it, which is great. And all of my skin just seems to be starting to clear up. So I'm very, very thankful. But in the meantime, I've been needing some hydrators that are not too thick because really thick moisturizers right now can flare up my dermatitis. So it's like, I don't know, I'm just going around in circles. But this I put on this morning and I have been having like to the point where even Genevieve's like, Mom, what's going on with your face? And so because all the dry skin is almost gone, but it's still there, when I put on certain foundations, it's really obvious. I put this moisturizer on and then put on a BB cream and it is so much less obvious. It's crazy. Like I literally, for the first hour of the day after I put all this on, I kept looking in the mirror and then looking up close and I'm like, it looks so much better than it did yesterday. And this was the change. So I'm like, maybe it's just like perfectly hydrating. So this is something, it is a little more lightweight, which I like, but then it's still moisturizing. So wanted to bring it up. If you've got some dry skin patches, maybe give it a try. I have also really been loving the Haus Labs foundation. This is a cult favorite right now. Well, maybe, I don't know that it's reached cult status. It hasn't been around for years, but definitely viral status. It's the Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I have the shade, if you are curious, 100 Light Neutral. Pretty good shade match for me. It's just pretty. There's something about like the different silicones in it that like actually make it adhere to your skin and look really smooth. It's definitely unique. A lot of people like it with a lot of different skin tones. So I feel like generally it's a good bet if you're wanting to try a new foundation. I really like it. I love the frosted glass bottle, the really nice pump, and the shade is, I feel like the shade range is really nice too. And wear time, I feel like that wears just as well as other favorite foundations of mine throughout the day. Oh, and the ever popular Rare Beauty highlighter. This is in Mesmerize. Okay, riddle me this. Everyone keeps saying, oh, it's a powder highlighter. And I'm like, it is? I genuinely thought this was a cream. And like to this day, I still swear it's a cream or like a cream to powder. It is the most unique formula. So I'm like, I guess it's a powder, but I'm not joking when I say I have viewed this as a cream highlighter because when you touch it, it is so unbelievably soft and finely milled. It feels like a cream. It's crazy. I'm still like reeling over this. I love this. This is the shade Mesmerize, as I said. It just is gorgeous. A little bit goes a long way. This is gonna last you forever. But in the realm of rare beauty highlighters I've tried, this is definitely my favorite. I really like this concealer. This is the Milk Makeup Future Fluid Cream Concealer. I used it again today. I've used this for months off and on, and this is the one I end up like, when I'm like, I want my skin to look nice, I just grab this and do it on my under eye. You know what I mean, my skin, my face. Because I'm always trying out other concealers, but this is one that has been foolproof that on those days where I want everything to look put together, I'm grabbing this. I just think it's pretty. I feel like it blends in really nicely. It's hydrating enough, but not too hydrating. It plays well if you're gonna put some powder on top. I really have no complaints about this. If you like a more like medium creamy concealer, I think this is one you will like. Okay, Sephora collection. Listen, this one I've gotten so many questions about because I tried it recently and I was like, I think this is a cheaper dupe for the Makeup by Mario Perfect Brown Liner that I love that is yet again sold out. This one is as good, might be better. Like I've already repurchased this. I'm probably gonna buy it again during the sale too because I'm like, well, I need backups. This is in the shade Tiramisu. It is one of those liners that, I mean, I've almost used it up. I use it like crazy. So I'll tightline my eye with it and then I'll just grab a really thin eyeliner brush and blend it. And it gives that really soft, but still dark, but soft line. And then I'll kind of do a little wing with it and then I'll tightline like on my waterline. Y'all, it's so good. And the best part is, and this is the question you guys had, it doesn't transfer to the waterline at all, at all. I cannot stress that enough, at all. It's wild. So I've tried a lot trying to find a dupe for the Makeup by Mario. This is the best one, probably is better than that, and it's cheaper, and you can get 30% off right now. So Definitely add it to your cart. They have all kinds of colors, and of course they have black if you prefer that, and then colored ones too, but Tiramisu is definitely my favorite shade. All right, the mascara I've loved, and I've made so many of my friends buy. The Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. There's a reason this is so popular. It makes your lashes look so fluttery and beautiful, like Disney princess beautiful. Ooh, I just love it. I just love it. There's something about it. I will say, I don't know that this formula lasts as long as I wanted it to. I feel like after 2 months, it started to flake a little bit. So just be aware of that. You know, most mascaras last around 3 months. I don't know that this one lasted as long as that. But again, if you can get it on sale, this would be a good time. In fact, I'm gonna add it to my cart right now because this is one I genuinely do want another one of now that this one is pretty old. Yeah, so instead of $20, you can save some money on it. And honestly, there's a lot of drugstore mascaras that are getting up in that price. So big fan if you want like really big, voluminous, but like soft looking lashes, this will give it to you every time. So another Sephora collection product, their Fine Line Felt Liner. This one surprised me. I bought it on a whim. This one's kind of getting old now. I need to get a new one. But I love how tiny this tip is because I can still get a thicker line if I, you know, like press down. But the fine tip, I'm trying to do this without looking, guys, come on. You can really get a nice little fine line with it, like if you want a little wing, and I love that. So I'm a big fan. A lot of times I'll do the dark brown and kind of smudge it, but if I can't quite get the wing right, I'll grab this and just kind of finish off the wing, and it blends into that brown really nicely. I don't think this is the blackest liner you will find, but it's dark, and that's really all I'm looking for. I don't care if it's super black, so if you are someone that wants like a stark matte black, this might not be the one for you. And Sephora collection brushes. I've said it a million times, so I won't dwell, but these are some of the best. Like, I have 2 favorite brush brands, and this is one of the 2. I love these. Some of these I bought a while ago. They've lasted so well. They wash really easily. They're very well made. 56 is the one I used for my concealer today, but then I used 57 for my concealer yesterday. And then 79, you just saw me use for my under eye powder. They have so many good ones, you guys. I love their powder brushes in this line, their eyeshadow brushes. So big fan, 30% off of these. You can get a kit of brushes if you want. You can buy them individually, but these are very well made brushes. If you feel ready to like upgrade your brush game, definitely look into this. Okay, this is a palette that, the 2 palettes I'm mentioning, I think are gonna surprise you guys. This one is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's not the one you think it is. I always recommend the Darling palette, which I do love. There's some shimmer, there's some matte in it, I love it. This is actually their Super Nudes Easy Eye palette. It looks pretty boring, right? Well, this is the one I will have open on my vanity while I'm getting ready. If I've got like a shimmer I'm putting all over the lid, then I'll grab this and I'll use this shade, and that's what I did today. I'll use this shade here to blend into the crease, and then the lighter shade in my brow bone, I use the same one on like my lower lash. This is my go-to. If you saw my TikTok of like where I was showing how to hide fine lines by doing like a thick, very light shadow underneath your eye right there, this is my go-to shade. Like that's the one I use almost every time. And so it's expensive, you get a percentage off, but it's one of those go-to super, super blendable eyeshadow palettes. The darker shades are amazing for doing like a powder liner, again, for like that really pretty smudge look. So it's just one that I really like. I don't give enough love to, but it is actually really, really good. And then this is a newer one. If you saw my, not coming out of my shell, but like getting out of my comfort zone, trying new makeup video a few weeks ago, this one. This is the Lawless The One Lavender palette. This shade right here is so pretty. If you're someone like me, I think if you're someone that wants high pigmentation in your color, this might not be the one for you. But if you're like me and you want it to like look colorful and fun, but not so vibrant, these are perfect. That sounds like a slight, but I actually really like the formula of this. That shade is so pretty. It's like the first one I've used on my eyes that I was like, I could do color, like, oh my gosh. And then they have some blending shades there too. So I'm just a fan of this palette. It's the one that like inspired me to step out of my comfort zone a little bit, so I'm thankful to it for that. Okay, a couple of other random products I wanted to mention. I just tried the Way Detox Shampoo. This is their smaller version. They have a larger one too. They sell both on Sephora. I was out of my Bumble and Bumble Sunday shampoo. I use that once a week to kind of detoxify my hair, get all the dry shampoo and hairspray and just gunk out of it. I was gonna buy it during the savings event, and that's usually what I do, but I bought this just on a whim because I needed one, and I really like it. I used it last night. I feel like my hair looks, well, let me say, it feels really, really clean and that's always what I want, but it also smells really good. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells like hair salon products. So if you like that, you will like this. If you don't, you won't. But I actually really like the smell of like, I can't explain it, but you know what I mean, like hair salon products. I just really enjoyed it. I'm glad I bought the small so I could kind of try it out, but it really got all the gunk out. My hair felt so squeaky clean after it. And then I usually go in with like a deep conditioner. So I'm a big fan. I would recommend it. I feel like it performs on par with the Bumble and Bumble. This one just smells better. Again, repeat, but anything from Tatcha. You guys know I love Tatcha skincare. This is their Indigo Overnight Repair. This is the one I go to. I'm just such a fan because it's an all-in-one product. These are pricey. So again, anytime you can get a percentage off. I also love the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. That's another one I would recommend looking at. And then hair care wise, I have been enjoying, I'm almost like halfway through it. I can't believe it. The Color Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Spray. So this is meant to be a humidity sealant. So especially if you live in a place that has high humidity year round, like I'm looking at you, Florida, I'm totally bringing this to Disney with me. Also, if you're just somewhere like maybe in the summer, it's super humid and you know you might want to be able to style your hair and it actually possibly stay that way. You only have to use this every few washes. So on wet hair, well, damp hair, I will spray this all over and then I'll go in with my blow dryer or heat styling, whatever. I feel like it does help with that. I haven't gotten to test this in high humidity. So like I said, I'm gonna try it in Florida. So if you're someone that has used this and you've tried it in humidity, let me know how it went in a comment below. I'm sure I'm not the only one curious about that, but I just really like it. It also says it's activated by heat. And like I said, long lasting, it's supposed to last through 3 to 4 shampoos. Interesting, right? My mind is like, how though? How? Y'all, no way. Okay, the Shark Flex Style is the Dyson Hair Wrap dupe, Air Wrap. It's still expensive, but it is like half the price, right? It does the same thing. Y'all, I used it on my hair today. It is my go-to, like kind of chill hair where it still looks put together and nice. But the thing is, it blow dries your hair while you are styling it. And it's a blow dryer in itself, so you can take off the styling part and blow dry your hair. I'll link the vlog where I try it out. It is now sold at Sephora. That is news to me. It is definitely, it was on their new page as I'm like finishing up my cart here. And I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And so that is one. Now I wish I'd waited. I think I bought it from like Shark's actual site. But I bought it full price, baby. Definitely save the money. If you have been thinking about it, holy moly, man, that is awesome. All right, so I took a little break to double check my cart and just make sure there was nothing else I wanted to add to it. So let's share. I feel like I'm being pretty good this time. I always say that and then I see like, oh, new things drop. Because I'm filming this obviously a little bit ahead of when the sale actually starts so that this video can go live, you know, around then. So I still have time to kind of finagle, but definitely in my cart, as you already know, the Tower 28 Make Waves Mascara. I've already talked about it, buying another one. I'm also gonna try the Sephora Collection 3-in-1 Pencil Sharpener because I have the NARS one and I love that one. I've recommended it. I still would recommend it, but I think the one that I have is old and like getting dull because every time I sharpen it, and I've had that one that I've been using here for like a couple years now. I just think it's getting dull because every time I try to sharpen any of my liners and now it just doesn't quite do it. I'm like, maybe I need to get in there and clean it a little better, but I think I'm gonna try the Sephora one. It's $6, so with 30% off, I mean, that's gonna be pretty inexpensive. I'm also gonna try the Sephora Collection Glossed Lip Gloss is Yes Honey the shade I picked? Let me double check that. Just because I love a good lip gloss, and this one, these look really, really shimmery. And I love a shimmery gloss. They kind of look like they're gonna give me the vibes of what the Buxom ones look like. Not necessarily plumping, but just really, really glossy, really pretty, and really comfy. So definitely added that one to cart. And yeah, Yes Honey, it's a shimmering light nude. And I'm wondering if it's gonna be similar to the shade Celeste from Buxom, which I absolutely love. So I also put, okay, this is so bizarre to me and I absolutely have to try it. It's from the brand Crown Affair and it is their dry shampoo. So it looks like it's something where you literally, it looks like it's a loose powder that you'd use for your face, and you use the brush and you kind of lift up your hair and use the brush to put the powder in the roots. I mean, that just sounds so cool to me. It really does, and so I absolutely must try it. So that has been in my loves for a while. I'm finally gonna actually buy it this time. And then Huda Beauty just launched the Glowish Bright Light Hydrating Sheer Concealer. So I'm thinking I might like this. It sounds like it's maybe not gonna be as high of coverage, But I do like a lighter concealer to just kind of help out when I'm doing less makeup on days where I'm maybe just running errands, but I want a little bit of something. It sounds like this might be the kind of concealer I would like. I have the shade Fair Light in my cart. We'll see. I feel like I'm notoriously terrible at picking shades for myself, especially for concealer, because I feel like a lot of times I'll go lighter, but then it's way too light. And so then I'll be like, okay, well then I'll go darker, and then it's way too dark. So I feel like it's really hard to find that middle ground with concealer specifically. Okay, I also added the mini version of the Sol de Janeiro Rio Radiance Illuminating Body Cream. So their Boom Boom Cream has been famous for years, and I love that stuff. But this one is a little bit illuminating. And I'm like, as we head into spring and summer, to be able to put that all over and give that little bit of glow, I'm all about it. And usually their smells are amazing, so I'm definitely gonna give that a try. And then Kosas launched their Dream Beam silicone-free mineral sunscreen SPF 40 with ceramides and peptides. I am just curious. I am a sucker for facial SPFs, as you may know, and I love trying them. I don't know what it is, but this one, it looks like it's maybe slightly glowing. It says it's safe for sensitive skin, dermatologist tested, non-comedogenic, non-acnegenic, hypoallergenic, all the genics. It says you can wear it alone or as the perfect base for makeup. I would probably do either depending on how it looks on the skin. But yeah, I'm just curious enough to try it because I mean, I've tried this many. At this point, I might as well try all that are out there and let you guys know which ones are the best. And then this one has mixed reviews. I have fallen in love with the idea of hair perfumes, especially when you're on second day hair and you've put some dry shampoo in and you're like, I hope my hair smells okay. You know, the idea of a perfume being made for your hair, I love, because then when you're walking by and you're wafting around, you can smell it. And so I really like one that I currently have. I can't think of the brand, but this one is from Jisoo. I hope I'm saying that right. It's their honey infused hair perfume. So I'm getting the mini size, which is still expensive. Some people in the reviews love the smell and others don't, but it generally has 4 stars. So I feel like it's kind of a good gamble. We'll see, but I love that idea for second and third day hair to just really revive the smell of your hair in addition to kind of cleaning it up with dry shampoo. So very excited to try that. So it seems that a lot of products from that brand Color Wow that I mentioned are being sold. I've bought a lot of them that I'm currently trying. I'm so curious. I feel like this brand is everywhere suddenly. Maybe it's been everywhere for a long time, but I'm just now hearing about it. So this is their Style on Steroids Color Safe Texture Spray. So my hair is not completely colored, but this year, or maybe 2022, just started getting like little bits of like highlights and stuff in it. So it's now on my mind that like, maybe I should look for some color safe stuff. I don't know. This is a new world to me, so I don't know. But either way, I love a good texturizing spray. I'm currently just using whatever hairspray I have to be a texture spray, but I'd rather have something that's a little less sticky to be giving me the texture I need. Like if I'm pulling it back in a bun or a ponytail, I like to have a little bit of grit in my hair to kind of hold it, because my hair can definitely tend to be a little more fine and a little bit harder to hold its shape depending on what I'm doing with it. So texture spray is what I usually have, but I don't have any right now. So this is in my cart because I have liked the Color Wow products I have tried, so I'm like hoping I like it a lot. Anyway, I did see, by the way, they do have the Color Wow Dream Coat Spray in a mini size, so I might add that to my cart too to get to travel with, but I also could like dump this in another thing. But again, the nozzle, it's the nozzle, baby. That's all that's in my cart. I know. I feel like for me, that is not bad. Like I said, it'll probably change as we get closer. But I just feel like I've got so many new goodies I'm playing with that I'm like, I don't need a ton, but there's so much out there. I hope that this video helped you, whether you're planning on shopping the savings event or not. It's just kind of fun to hear about what's out there, what new things, what fresh things are out there. I feel like we're all kind of hitting a point where it's been 3 years since the pandemic happened. I definitely hit a point, and a lot of my YouTube friends I watch, I've heard talk about this too. We're all kind of hitting that point where we're like wanting to get ourselves together and like actually wear real clothes instead of just loungewear, because we all got real comfy, didn't we? But now I'm like, oh, I actually want like cute outfits. Like I've forgotten what it's like to like put on outfits to go out. And now I'm really thinking about like my makeup and actual lip products. And it's exciting. It's starting to feel more normal again. And it's very exciting. So I feel like makeup is a piece of that, and that's why I've felt really into it lately, because I'm like, oh yeah, like I can put on a full face of makeup and it's not gonna rub off on a mask. It's so exciting. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again to Sephora for sponsoring this video. Again, I'll have the link to sign up for their Beauty Insider program so that you can shop the savings event as well. Get a percentage off. The code to use for everyone is SAVENOW. And like I said, I'll have all of the info for the percentages off, the promo code, the dates you can shop, all of that information down in the description box. And thank you guys for watching. If you want more recommendations, like I said, check out my other Sephora savings event video I did last time that they worked with me. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.